What's up guys, it's Brahamid here with another war recap. This week we were up against Adult Allied, who put up a really good fight. You can see it was quite close. We didn't take out all of their bases, missed a few of the client experience points, but they did have some pretty tough Town Hall 10s. And our Town Hall 10s needed to help out a little bit on the Town Hall 9s I think in the end, so not too bad a performance in that respect. Just taking a look at the lineups now, you can see there they didn't get Duke, but they got pretty much everyone else, and they did quite well against our against our Town Hall 10s. Mountain Biker there getting taken out by their number 3 Chris, and also Andrew I think it was. So a lot of their 3 stars coming from Town Hall 10s coming down, and then Mealy put in really good defense record for someone that high up. He got I think 5 defenses before he got 2 starred. You don't normally see that towards the top end because you got some of the best attackers hitting there. And then you can see as you go down there's a lot of 2 stars, and then it's only when you get towards the bottom you see the 3 stars, which is fairly standard. Most clans can 3-star our Town Hall 8s of course. And then there you can see not the best performance against their Town Hall 10s this week, but then some really good attacks against the 9s. King with probably the attack of the war, hitting their hardest Town Hall 9. Plenty of 3 stars, bit mixed, but overall lots of 3 stars there. And then as we move towards the bottom you can see all of the bottom 3 starred as well, all the Town Hall 8s, and most of those coming from our Town Hall 8s, if not all of them. 78 attacks used. A little bit disappointing that 2 people didn't use their attacks, and I think they have been booted from the clan, so if you're watching this and you're new to the clan, we do take it pretty seriously, so do expect to be kicked out if you don't use your attacks. Slightly better destruction percentage and average time of attack, which I think probably tells you more than the average stars per attack, to be honest, just because, you know, if you're going to sort of 85-95% damage, you're probably getting close to those 3 stars, and that's what's winning these wars. And there you can see unfortunately the bassist and King Jeff kicked out at the moment, so please do make sure you use all your attacks. And then the enemy clan used most of their attacks as well, did pretty well. No one kicked out from there, so not using their attacks by the looks of it. So let's jump into some replays, and we'll probably go with King first since he had the most heroic attack of the war. Okay, so Kingwittoxc attacking their top Town Hall 9, and you can see it's a really tough base. Good level heroes, particularly the Queen, not so much the King. I'm just showing you there the range of the clan castle, so the lure is fairly obvious. You know, you're going to get the lure from either of the top 2 sides. The other things he's got to think about is where he's going to kill his lure, so I'm just sort of showing you the distance of the corner defences. You know, you will suffer if you lure under fire from a corner defence, particularly a mortar, not so much an archer tower. But you know, if a mortar lands on all these skeletons, if you're using a 2-1-2 in the clan castle, the defensive clan castle can then overwhelm your witches and wizard. And then just showing you the range of the air defences there, he's got his up crossbows, so I probably wouldn't say this was a good lava loon base, and obviously King isn't going to use that, but you can see the air defences covering each other. This is just the kind of things you want to think about when you're building up the attack. You know, you can see there as well, the one thing that could make it good for lava loon is that the wizard towers are in range of the air defences, so they would focus on the lava hound. But generally I'd say it's probably a hog base, this one. And if you look around it, where's he going to have giant bombs? You know, there's not a whole load of spaces for giant bombs, so he wants to get in that compartment I've just showed you, and that'll enable him to get the Queen down. And then just taking a look around, you can see, you know, there's some spring traps and things like that, but no double giant bombs, so a good option to hog. So King, I like this start. A lot of people doing this now, grabbing a few easy defences with some balloons. It's a pretty good trade, that, you know, 5 or 10 spots just to get one defence down, and then getting the lure from the top there as well at the same time. And he's going to take it off into this corner where the archer tower isn't quite reaching right to the corner, so there's plenty of space to kill the lure. One archer tower isn't going to stop you from getting it, but I would be more worried if it was a mortar. And then from there he's going to use just a couple of wizards and things to make sure he gets his funnel. And you'll see he hasn't dropped his King yet, because Queens don't tend to go walkabout. You know, they shoot one way then the other, then eventually turn inwards, but Kings will go walkabout, so he's holding off on his King. Golem goes down, and then here come the wall breakers. They're going to get him into that compartment. He doesn't have to be in the same compartment as the Queen. She will hopefully hop over, and there she is now. Once she hits the Golem, that would aggro the King and Queen, so that's a good time to drop the King, which is what Kingwittoxc does. He goes straight in. Probably wasn't even needed there because the Queen was already down, but he's going to keep going into the middle and do some damage, and also soak up some of the defensive damage. And now King is dropping in his hogs, of course, and dropping those heals. And what I like about King's heals, which is probably the thing you should be watching, is how they cover a lot of defences there. You can see it covers wizard tower, air defence, mortar, and a crossbow there, an X-bow rather. The hogs do go out of it for a second, but that's not a big deal. Back into it, and then they're working their way around, but they're under heal for a large amount of time there. And there you see another heal for the other group, which the second group is going to also come into in a minute. It's going to go through it. And really, you can just see in the weakness of the lack of double giant bombs here. There's one which is going to go off and hurt his hogs there, but it's too late at this point. And there's another one, but as I say, at this point, too late to really stop his attack. And now it's into the cleanup phase. So a good base, really good defences, high level queen, getting into those lava walls as well, but let down by the fact that you just didn't have any double giant bombs. And as soon as you see a base like that where there's hardly any spots, and the one spot where there was double giant bombs as well, it wasn't really on a hog path very much, particularly if you don't deploy from that side and you let the kill squad knock out some of the buildings around it. It's just not on the path at all. So exploiting that weakness to the full there, with a really good attack and the highest 3-star of the war. So well done, King. And let's jump into another attack now. So next up I want to show my first attack, not for any particular reason other than it's easy for me to talk about why I did things. You'll see in a minute it's not the best base. It's probably one of the easiest bases I've attacked for a while. Very open, no hog ring. There is giant bomb spots, but I don't think there was any double giant bomb spots that were on a hog path anyway. So I decided, you know, it's pretty easy to get the lure. I mean, I could come in from either side with hogs, or I just thought, well, I might as well take out that cannon. So that's where I'm going to get my lure from. And then over here in this corner, there's plenty of space to kill the lure, nothing under fire. Probably not the best base for a lava loon attack. I could have gone with it, but high level air defences, and they did cover each other, so plus the up point in expos, so I thought I probably wouldn't go for it even though the wizard towers were near the air defences. And there you can see the range of the mortars, so that's the reason why I lured in the corner rather than at the side. And then here, I thought that was going to be a hidden test. I thought there was kind of some hog path going on, you know, to try and draw me around the outside. It turned out I think it was a giant bomb in the end. Misidentified that. I thought that there was some kind of trap going on there, but I couldn't quite work out what it was. And I don't think there was anything really clever going on with this base in the end. I thought the double giant bombs were probably on the left near the two builders' huts, just because there was plenty of space there. Turned out to be giant bombs around here rather than where I've just said. But with that big space and the queen, she's obviously going to hop over the wall into that big space, so all I need to do is get in there, get her, and maybe trigger some giant bombs as well. So first thing to get the lure, got plenty of hogs with me, so dropped 3 in, could always drop another one if needed, but that seemed to get the clan castle, and then the standard sort of 2-1-2 in the corner with the queen as well. And I got plenty of wizards to support it, so just dropping a few where I felt they were needed, and also to create that funnel. And then it wasn't the best deployment here. I kind of dropped one golem and then forgot about the other one, but I got them all in the end. So putting in the wall breakers, continuing to use wizards to make the funnel, putting down a rage there. I think that helps the wall breakers a bit as well. It probably wasn't the most effective rage. It wasn't my best raid, this really. Then golems go in. Oh, I got one giant bomb there. Apologies. And then it was a hidden Tesla as well. And then once that happens, I felt it was safe to put in the hogs. And then I'm just going to drop in heals. And it's really obvious where to heal. I mean, one here, it's going to cover 4 or 5 defences and 2 possible giant bomb spots. Turned out they weren't giant bombs, but you know, that was where I'd planned to drop them to cover them off. And then Mealy Puddin's idea there to drop in a couple of balloons as well to break that top ring in case it was a trap. And then again another heal covering loads of defences. I mean, these defences are so packed together, so it's so easy for the hogs, and it can only be a single giant bomb, so obviously one heal is going to be enough. Another balloon to take out that cannon, which was part of destroying that ring that wasn't a ring really. And then the last heal probably wasn't even needed. I mean, it was nice to be able to drop it, but everything had sort of joined up at the other side then, and the kill squad had really done its job. I think deploying fast probably helped me there because I still had a lot of the kill squad alive, but it was quite an easy attack this really. And a couple of goblins in, which I liked to speed things up, but they probably weren't needed. And I think that what I thought was a ring, there you can see, turned out to be a giant bomb, so a bit of a misidentification there, but I'm not really sure what the plan was for that giant bomb. I think that's an anti-go wipe base, but obviously very vulnerable to hogs, probably to lava loon as well. Okay, next up we're going to show another Kingwittoxc attack. I thought it would be best to keep all of the attacks in the same sort of town hall range in the same videos, and therefore you can kind of go to the video that's relevant to your town hall range if you want to see replays that you could maybe emulate. So for that reason, another Kingwittoxc attack, because he has attacked I think he probably got the two highest 3-stars, or perhaps, well, two of the best 3-stars anyway in the war, which is getting fairly standard for him. And talking of standard, here's the general base again, which King I think knocked out in the last war, and probably every war for the last 5, getting 3-stars against it. You can see there the town hall, the clan castle range, a little bit difficult to lure, but not too difficult. And we've got a pretty good idea of where the giant bombs are. I'm showing you there the giant bomb spots, but I was also just clicking on the air defense ranges to kind of show you they do cover each other, so perhaps not the best lava loon base, although it is very easy to get the queen because she will step outside if you come in from the right hand side there. And I have lava looned it before, but King's method with hogs is getting really consistent and I love it, so I think that's probably the best method to take it out. So coming in from the top, there's not too much DPS pressure on the hogs. It's a good way to get the lure. They only get a lot of hits on them once they get in close, and at that point the clan castle's out. Then King's going to drop in the 2-1-2 type attack, although with some extra wizards there. But he needs those wizards to create the funnel, so they're not wasted, they're pulling double duty, and they're also going to go in and take out some of the buildings and probably hit the defensive queen as well. 2 golems. I guess that's because a lot of this attack relies on detonating the double giant bomb once you get inside, and also you want your kill squad still alive at the end so that they're taking a lot of the DPS away from the hogs, because having used the jump spell and the rage, you've only got 2 heals, and they basically, you have to drop them where the double giant bombs are and hope that you only trigger 1 bomb at a time. And you'll see here that's exactly what King does. The kill squad triggers 1 bomb, the hogs trigger the other, but they're under heal. The good thing about the general though is if you're dropping those heals, you have to put them where they are, and there you can see again triggering just 1 bomb at a time. You have to drop them where they are, but they do cover a lot of defences. You know, this base is quite crowded in terms of the defence placement down the bottom there, so it's really good spots for dropping your spells. And when you're looking at a base, even if it's not the general, and you see a big group of defences together, that's always going to be a good spot to think, I'm going to drop a heal there, or if you're using rages, I'm going to drop a rage, because you'll always get good value for it. And there you can see, we're just into cleanup now. But a lot of the kill squad's still alive, and that took pressure off the hogs, so they didn't really need a heal at the end there. In fact, one of the golems hasn't even popped, which is, you know, just shows how well that attack went. And I think a lot of that is down to deploying the hogs pretty quickly. You know, you don't want to jump the gun because then you might end up going into that double giant bomb spot, but as soon as you see the kill squad getting in and getting the queen, you can start to think about dropping your hogs. You don't need to wait and watch how it plays out, otherwise you could run out of time, I suppose. So a really good attack there from King. I think we'll do one more for this video, and then I'll save the rest for another video. So for the last attack for this video, I'm going to show my second attack. It was against a base we'd already hit and got 1 star against. And I was saying when I was with Melee Pudding on the night, I really wanted to have a go against this base. I liked it for some reason. So it was kind of good in a way that it got 1 star, because I got the enjoyment of trying to attack it. So you can see there the range of the clan castle. It's a pretty easy lure from the left or the right if you just want to drop a hog in on the cannons, but I thought maybe I could get some cheap kills on some buildings down the bottom here. So that's where I decided to lure from. You can see the air defense range doesn't cover the cannon, so pretty obvious that I can drop a balloon there. And then I thought the amount of DPS was quite spread out, so probably a couple of hogs would knock out the archer towers as well. Then if you look up the top, you can see there's quite a lot of strong air defense in the middle. Air defenses covering each other, expos are up, etc. So probably not the best base to lava loon against, unless your kill squad can get in and kill the queen and 2 air defenses, which is obviously going to be quite expensive. So once I've got the lure, I'm going to bring the lure up the top and try and take out the queen with the lure and some other troops. And I'm just showing you down the bottom there, there's some spots for double giant bombs, but they're not really on the hog path, so it's definitely a hog base, this. The queen's quite well defended in terms of high HP buildings from the north, and that's why I decided to come in more from the side there, particularly because I was using a golem. You kind of need something for the golem to home in on, and in that case, if you'll see again in a minute that there's a cannon that the golems can home in on. If I dropped them directly from the north, I'm not sure where they would have gone really. So getting some cheap kills here. Only just, it was very close, but I just about managed to take them all out. I don't think it would have really mattered if I'd knocked them down to like 1% health, that would have helped as well. And then just using the barbarians at the top for the lure. No defences could hit the barbarian there, which was nice. I probably should have brought a minion to be safe, you know, with a bit of range, but the barbarian was out of range, which was fine, and I had 4 of them anyway to bring the troops up. Dropping in the 2-1-2, and then in comes the golem. just the one this time because the queen's so exposed, and also there's not really many giant bomb spots at the top, so I wasn't feeling like, oh, I need my king to go in and detonate a load of giant bombs. There he sets off one, and as soon as he does that I can throw in my hogs ready because there's no bomb spots anywhere on the top right hand side of the base now. They've gone nicely into the middle. High value heal, although my hogs did kind of move out of it, which was a bit disappointing, so dropped another heal down the other side, but I've still got one left, and my kill squad's doing work on the right hand side now, so I should be okay at this point. Another heal down the bottom on a slightly small group of hogs, but I felt there could be some bombs there, and there was, and on the other side. And unfortunately I couldn't heal both groups of hogs, so one group did get hit by the bomb, but you really see the weakness of just having single giant bombs. You know, they're not going to take out those level 5 hogs, unfortunately for the defender, and particularly if you've got a heal down, it makes absolutely no difference whatsoever. And now we're just into the cleanup phase, so it was an interesting base. I originally thought I would do something from down the bottom with the golem, you know, because the golem could just wander inside, but in the end it's always more important to get the queen, so that's what I did. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. I think the next video I'm going to do the Town Hall 8 attacks, because there's some great Town Hall 8 attacks which I can't wait to show, and then I'll probably do some mid-range attacks and a bit of a melee pudding Valkyrie masterclass. But for now, thanks for watching guys.